Okay, week's one essay discussion forum. I had wrote my questions down and my answers down right here. I typed it up, and I just wanted to read it so you can be aware of it. Let you know what I was reading so you'll be aware of it. Okay, the question is the first part of the question: which type of hormone receptor, plasma membrane bound or intracellular, would be expected to provide the long-lived response to hormone binding, and why? I put the binding of a hormone to intercellular receptors would result in long-lived response. Membranes bound receptors activate second messengers that are degraded rapidly by intracellular enzymes, terminating the target cell's response. I also found it in my chapter notes. The second page, number one, the formation of one or more intercellular second messengers. The hormone is the first messenger to give the cell its message. The hormone attaches to a specific receptor in the cell membrane. Once attach occur, there is an increase in the synthesis of cyclic AMP inside the cell. Cyclic AMP acts as the second messenger to alter cell function by activating enzymes inside the cell, which go on to catalyze specific responses, such as inducing secretion, activating protein synthesis, and altering membrane probability. I also wish I had drawn out the chart that I had saw on the lecture, so you can kind of see where I got my information from. But I got it on page 2 of the lecture notes. And then the second part, when Roger Peters has severe arthritis and has been taking prednisone. Uh, Roger Peterson has severe arthritis and has been taking prednisone, a glucocorticoid, for 2 months. He wasn't feeling well, complained on repeated colds and extremely puffy endometriosis. Explain the normal role of glucocorticoids, then explain the reason for these symptoms. Okay, the role of glucocorticoid is to influence the metabolism of the body cell and provide resistance to stressor. Also helps body to adapt to external changes and intermittent food intake by keeping blood sugar levels fairly consistent. The main function is to help the body with long-term responses to stress such as infections and trauma. My reference was when I did my essay question. I filed it in my notes about glucocorticoids. And the second part, Mr. Peterson has Cushing syndrome. Cushing syndrome is the excess of glucocorticoid. So it's the excess of the metabolism of the body cells that provide resistance to the stressor. Your body also makes glucocorticoids. The symptoms are elevated blood glucose, loss of muscle and bone protein, water, and salt retention. So Mr. Peterson hasn't been feeling well, which complain about repeated colds and extremely puffy comes from muscle weakness, and the swelling comes from the salt retention. The salt retention from the glucocorticoid. I'm so nervous, and also the symptoms plays a part in the prednisone. So pretty much he's taking the prednisone, and the prednisone is just giving him the side effects of why he's having all these different symptoms, like being cold and the muscle weakness, and all of that is the side effects from the prednisone, which is causing the Cushing syndrome. And I also found in my research about the hypoglycemia, which is an excessive insulin secretion. It results in a low blood glucose level, anxiety, weakness, nerves, and disorientation. And those are also some of the symptoms that Mr. Peterson was experiencing. So I pretty much, to sum it all up, I pretty much saw that Mr. Peterson was he wasn't feeling good. So the doctor put him on some prednisone, but while he was on prednisone, the prednisone started giving him side effects on being cold, being puffy, and he was always swelling because of the salt retention. So the body wasn't releasing the salt; it was retaining the salt, which caused him to become very puffy. And then he was also had the Cushing syndrome, which elevated the glucose levels and the loss of muscle and bone protein. And it was like Mr. Peters was really having a bad day. Um, I, that'll be all. Thanks for watching, Professor.